Before the emergence of the internet, our access to information was much harder to acquire. Although books, journals, and oral sources were available even before, the growth of technology is much more evident now. However, with such great power to perceive information comes with greater responsibility. Using the internet may be highly beneficial to all of us, but this advantage also exposes us to some of the dangers, namely malware or phishing, cyberbullying, plagiarism, and fake news. To protect ourselves from these, necessary steps must be taken. First, fake news. These are news articles or even posts that deliberately mislead and misinform its readers. Fake news are commonly about political issues that aim to attack a certain stand or a certain person. To know that a certain information is fake, watch out for these. First, lack of credible source. If the information came from a site or person that is not really known for relaying news, start doubting. Second, opinionized. Usually, fake news are for fueling emotions. If the information is obviously opinionized, it is probably fake. And third, isolated source. If the information is not repeated in other sources, which should also be credible, and can only be seen in the acquired source, then that information can also be said to be doubtable. Second, plagiarism. In academic writing, or even in normal personal posts, we tend to plagiarize by not citing our sources. This, in fact, is very similar to stealing. When we plagiarize, we violate the rights of the author, that is the primary source of that needed information. To avoid committing such, the following are tips that must be kept to mind. First, make use of citations. Especially evident in academic writing, citations like APA, MLA, and Chicago are used. If you are unfamiliar with manual citing, sites like citationmachine.net can be used. Second, only search for information from credible sources and sites. Google Scholar is just one of the many sites in the internet that is reliable when it comes to information. Aside from this, books, printed journals, and other printed sources are also widely available. Third, cyberbullying. It is undeniable that besides a convenient source of information, the internet is also a place for people to attack others. Social networking sites like Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr become platforms for incidents like this. In order to prevent cyberbullying, here are a few to-dos. 1. Don't believe everything you see. There are videos of people, especially in Facebook, that are either embarrassing, offensive, or explicit. These often define a person's being in the eyes of others. Due to this, people are more prone to cyberbullying. 2. Report to higher ups once you see something alarming. The best way to deal with cyberbullying is directly letting the legal authorities handle it. Report as much as possible rather than dealing it with yourself. And third, be careful with what you share. In line with fake news and fake information, sharing fake and fabricated posts could also make a person more prone to being bullied. And lastly, phishing. With information so much more accessible to others, our personal information is also put to danger. Phishing involves the attempt to steal personal information from others. To avoid these, beware of common practices. 1. Make sure that the sites you need to input personal information to are legitimate. Companies won't ask for your personal information all the time. Phishing sites pose as legitimate company sites, and simply inputting information that should only be private is too dangerous. 2. Do not entertain seemingly fake message, emails, and sites. As long as you don't interact with these, you will be safe from phishing. Knowing all of these is part of information literacy. As long as you keep safe in the internet and remember these tips, your safety is not at stake.